You know, most business books, they're written for peacetime. But what happens when things go sideways? When the battle actually begins? Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're diving into Ben Horowitz's manual, which isn't for peacetime. It's for the brutal, gut-wrenching reality of being a leader in wartime.
Let's be clear, this is not about tweaking your growth metrics. No, this is about what you do when you are deep in the trenches, when you have to lay off people you consider friends, when your entire industry is collapsing around you. This isn't some feel-good business book. It's a field manual, a guide for corporate warfare.
So who's our guide through this battlefield? It's Ben Horowitz. And look, he didn't just come up with these ideas in a classroom. He lived this stuff. He co-founded a company called LoudCloud right as the dot-com bubble was bursting. He navigated near bankruptcy, pivoted the whole thing into opsware, and then, get this, sold it to Hewlett-Packard for $1.6 billion. So yeah, his insights, they aren't academic theories. They were literally forged in fire.
So what makes this book so essential? It's because it completely throws out all the fluffy feel-good advice. Its real value is in its raw, unfiltered honesty about what it's like to lead when the chips are down, and every single decision you make is about pure survival.
And this is where Horowitz makes a really critical distinction. As a peacetime CEO, you have the luxury of thinking about expanding the market, fostering creativity, the good stuff. But a wartime CEO? No way. You have zero comfort. You're fighting for the company's very life. You're enforcing brutal discipline and choosing between a bad option and an even worse one. It's a completely different mindset, a different psychological state altogether.
Okay, so that wartime reality, it leads us right to our first big takeaway from the book. Horowitz is just brutally honest about the profound, and I mean crushing, isolation that comes with being the one in charge. And why is it so lonely? It's actually pretty simple. Information. When you're at the top, you're the final filter for everything. You are the only person who sees the complete, often contradictory, and frankly, terrifyingly complex picture of the whole company. Nobody else has that full view.
I mean, think about it, right? Your head of sales, they know sales are down, but they might not know about that critical delay in engineering. And your head of engineering, they don't see the financial cliff you're about to drive off of. Only you. You're the one who has to pull all this conflicting information together and make that final gut-wrenching call. And you have to do it all by yourself. Which brings us to a really crucial point. Leadership isn't about not being afraid. Horowitz uses the story of David and Goliath. I mean, you can bet David was absolutely terrified. The difference, and this is the whole essence of leadership, is that he acted anyway.
But acting when you're scared takes more than just guts. You need a strategy. And that is exactly what Horowitz gives you, a playbook, filled with practical, battle-tested frameworks for when you are under fire. At the core of his philosophy is this really strict hierarchy of priorities. It's people, then products, then profits. Always in that order. And the logic here is just unbreakable, right? Only great people can build great products, and only great products are going to generate profits. If you screw up that order, the whole thing just collapses.
Okay, here's another really powerful idea that kind of goes against the grain. When you're hiring, what do most leaders do? They look for someone without a lot of weaknesses. Horowitz says that is a fatal mistake. Instead, you have to hire for strength. So what does that actually mean? It means you figure out the single most critical thing your company needs right now, and you go find the person who is world-class at solving that one thing, even if they're not so great at other stuff. Why? Because companies don't win by playing it safe and avoiding mistakes. They win by leveraging absolutely extraordinary strengths. But look, even the best team in the world can't operate in the dark. And that brings us to maybe the most powerful weapon a leader has during a crisis. Radical, and I mean radical, transparency. So let's play this out. Your company misses its numbers. A competitor just launched a product that could kill you. Your funding is about to dry up. What is the very first thing you do? The answer is brutally simple. You tell the truth immediately. Bad news does not get better with time. Hiding the facts will absolutely destroy your single most important asset, which is trust. But being honest, that does the exact opposite. It recruits the collective brainpower of your entire team to help you solve the problem. All right, so let's get to the final verdict. Should this book be in your toolkit? Well, it's a powerful weapon for sure, but it's not for every leader, and it's not for every situation. So the pros, it is brutally honest. It's almost like a dictionary for crises. You can literally flip to the section on how to fire an executive or how to manage layoffs. The advice is real. Now the cons. It is relentless. The focus on the mental and emotional struggle is intense. And honestly, it could really scare off anyone who isn't prepared for that kind of stress.
And I think ultimately this is the book's real core message. There are no easy formulas. There are no magic bullets, no shortcuts to knowing what to do. The only thing that truly prepares you is the experience you get from actually being in the arena, making those hard decisions yourself. And that really leaves us with one final thought. This book doesn't sugarcoat anything. It pulls back the curtain on the intense, gut-wrenching struggle of leadership. So after hearing all this, you really have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this a battle you are truly prepared to fight? If the answer is yes, if you've decided you are ready for that fight and you want to arm yourself with these strategies, we've got the link to the book and some other resources waiting for you down in the description.
Make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into the books that forge leaders. Thanks for being here. Now go lead.